everyone, and welcome to Shed Time Stories with Issy. Are you ready for us to share a new story today? I hope so. I have chosen a very kind and caring book. The title is The Wall. If you have this story at home, you can read along with me. The author and illustrator is Mauro Lirussi. The author is the person who has written the story, and the illustrator is the person who draws all the pictures. Can you think what this story might be about? Shall we find out? The Wall. That's 12 boxes, Dad said. The new house was wide, white and empty, but it slowly filled up with the cups, jars, books, dishes, pictures, dolls, socks, pots, bottles and shirts that came out of the boxes. I never really missed our old house, but I did miss the tangled, knotted old tree that grew in the garden. Once it had a nest with a family of birds. They didn't sing very well, but they tried very hard. Suddenly, one day, the nest wasn't there anymore. It had simply disappeared. Dad said they had flown away, but I knew he wasn't telling the truth. My new home had a tree as well, but what was next to it was even better. Behind a thick, mossy wall where small lizards walk was my neighbour's garden. It was full of little robots that moved with the wind and fountains that dropped with water and bubbled noisily. The owner of the garden had a long white beard. I always saw him watering his flowers or sitting in the evening sun, tinkering with complicated gears, screws, wires and instruments. I liked to look at him over the wall by the tree, and sometimes he would wave and say, "Hello." Eventually, we became friends, and he gave me a blue and gold bird which opened its wings when it was wound up. But the bird broke unexpectedly, and then I became ill before I could see my old neighbour again. The doctor told me I had tiny living things inside me. They were smaller than a letter, impossible to see, even if you looked closely. But he said if I took my medicine, I would get better very soon. And so I did. When I was finally able to go outside again, I couldn't find my white-bearded neighbour anywhere. I peeked over the fence. There were no more little robots that moved with the wind, and no more fountains that went drip-drop with water and bubbling noises. I suspected something bad had happened, even though my parents never said anything to me. I knew I wouldn't see him anymore. He simply disappeared. Over time, I met more and more children who had similar stories, all about people who were mysteriously disappearing. It was then that we decided to create the League of Guardians. There are many of us, and we are everywhere. In schools, at playgrounds, in parks, everywhere. If you see us, you might think that we are just walking or playing or hiding. But we are constantly observing. We will never again let anybody simply disappear behind a wall. After all, someone has to take care of the adults. The end. Oh, that was a lovely story. The little girl learned that sometimes things do disappear, or people that we care about disappear, and we don't get to see them again. But she learned that talking about it is good, and that the disappeared are never forgotten. We have memories, and memories are special that stay with us forever. I hope you enjoyed today's Shed Time story. If you want to, you can like, share and subscribe to Shed Time Stories, and then you will be ready for the next book for us to share together. Bye-bye.